friends, today it's actually been a little bit over 2 months since I started my sweet potato slips. I did a video on it when I first started them, and then I did a video like a month later just to show you the growth on it. So I'm going to show you what it looks like today. Today I'm actually removing them off of the sweet potato and getting them ready to not necessarily plant. I can't plant them yet, but I am getting ready to get them. I'm ready to put them in some bottles so I can start getting roots on them, because right now they don't have roots on them. They're still attached to the sweet potato plant, so I want to get them off the sweet potato plant. I got some canning jars that I'm going to be putting the plants in once I get them off the sweet potato, and I will be rooting them in these jars. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I do and show you what the plants look like now. It is about 2 months and 2 days since I got these started. But before I get started, I did want to ask you if you could please take a moment to subscribe to my channel, and if you enjoyed this video, please remember to press the thumbs up button. Thank you. Okay, so this is what the plants look like now. This is the same aluminum foil container that I planted a couple months ago. Some of them are beginning to look a little sad because they've been here quite a while. I mentioned on one of my previous videos that some of these sweet potatoes were ones from the ones that I grew in my own yard last year, and those sprouted really, really quickly. I probably would have not started them 2 months out had I known that they were going to start so quickly, but that's a lesson learned for next year. But for now, I will show you the sweet potatoes, and you can see how much growth is on each one. So I am just pulling them out. One more thing is that I had these inside under a grow light for quite a while, but our weather really warmed up the last couple months, except today it's a little cold outside and rainy, but our weather really warmed up, so I had them outside for a while too. And I probably could have done this probably a week or so ago, because they are ready to go in the ground because of the temperature being really warm enough outside. Sweet potatoes do not like cold weather, but it is kind of unusually warm for us. So I'm just pulling these roots out of the sweet potato out of the little aluminum foil tray. I did have one lady mention to me that she actually still eats the sweet potato after she harvests it, but I've not personally done that, so I can't speak to that. But as you can see from this, it has like a couple plants. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 different sprouts off of this plant. And some of these vines have gotten really, really long. Like this is a pretty long vine. And what I'm going to be doing is actually trimming this vine. I'm going to just cut it a couple different places, and I'm going to stick it into my canning jar. And I'm pretty confident that it's going to, oops, sorry, my dog is sneezing. I'm pretty confident that it's going to sprout wherever I put it in, even though it's not at the place where it's connected to the sweet potato. All I do once I get these out of the ground is, once I get them out of the soil is I break it off. I'm just breaking it off. It's really, just do it with your hands. It's really easy. You just pull it off, and there's some root on it, but we honestly do not need the root on it. And then I'm gonna pull this off, and then some of these are really small. So this sweet potato is the one that has white on the inside, and I am going to label my jars so that I know which ones have, what in it. But for now, I didn't bring anything to label with. I am just going to be putting them in this jar. So just dropping them in here, and I might end up having to switch to a smaller jar. But as you can see, this is a really long vine here. It's quite long, so I am going to cut it a couple different places. And like I said, I'm pretty confident this is going to root. So I'm going to put these in. So each one of these will become its own sweet potato plant. The other thing, this is just kind of a side thing I thought I'd mention. I was looking on one of our gardening groups that I'm in, and somebody was looking to buy sweet potato slips. And I saw that somebody posted that they were selling sweet potato slips. So this is also a good way to make some side money if you're interested. I'm going to be planting these in the ground. I'm not going to be selling these. One, I didn't make enough of them, but, well, I might have too many of certain varieties. But for now, this is all going to go into my yard because I really want to try to grow as many sweet potatoes as possible. I'm actually not a huge sweet potato fan, but I do like them, and I also use them in the food that I make for my dogs. So this is one, and I'm going to fill this with water, and I will show you after actually. But I'm just covering the last, I'm going to say, bottom inch of the roots, or of the bottom of the plant, and it will root from there. And usually my experience is that it roots in less than 5 days. Sometimes in 2 to 3 days I start seeing roots, and it grows like crazy. So, and our weather is warm enough that probably in a week I probably will put these outside. I am putting them in a grow bag this year because I've had a horrible time trying to find sweet potatoes inside my garden beds, my raised beds that I have. Some of these are really hard to get out, but I'm going to yank these plants out here. Oh my. And some of these, unfortunately, they're so, maybe it would have been a better idea to keep them separated in separate containers, because some of these are almost attached to each other, so it's kind of hard to tell which root is coming. This is also another one that's the white on the inside, the similar one. So I might just actually put that. And as you can see, this one has a couple roots to it already, and you can separate it so you can get multiple plants. So that's what I'm going to do. And this is also a very long one. So I'm going to cut. I'm going to cut that and try to sprout it. I just want to try to maximize how many slips that I have. Hopefully, the more slips I have, the more chances of getting sweet potatoes, or as many sweet potatoes as I can get. So this next one, all the ones I showed you so far are ones that grew from the sweet potatoes that I grew in my backyard. So they were the ones that took off first. They grew the most. I'm making quite a mess of my dining room table here, but you can see that this has got a lot of roots. So this is also from and this is the one that has the purple sweet potato, and it's got a ton of sprouts on it. So I'm just pulling them off. You don't even have to be very gentle, but this has got a lot of roots on it, as you can see. I have put these directly into the ground too, but I only end up usually getting not very many from these. I seem to do better on the ones that are each individual plants. And a lot of these, if they are combined together, I'm separating them because, like I said, I want separate plants, and I want as many plants as possible. I'm going to be putting them in different grow bags. So hopefully I will not be putting them in the ground this year. I don't have enough space in my beds anyway. I've got enough things planted in there. But this is another one. So I've got these in here, and I'm going to obviously put water in all of these. So this is my purple on the inside and purple on the outside. This one is the one that did the worst as far as sprouts are concerned. Actually, this one I think is from the other one. It is kind of hard to tell, but this one did the worst. This was the one I bought at the grocery store. So it didn't have a ton of sprouts. It had very few sprouts. And I mentioned this in the beginning when I did the first video, that they tend to be sprayed with chemicals from my understanding, so that they do not sprout as easily. Now I do have a really long sprout here, so I'm going to cut this and make multiple plants out of it. But nonetheless, I didn't get very many from this one. This is after me cutting it. This potato did not do so well, and it's the one, this is your normal, typical sweet potato that you get at the grocery store. And I picked this up around Thanksgiving when they were on sale. So this has got the least sprouts. So that really goes to show that there's something definitely being sprayed on these, or something that they're doing to keep them from sprouting, because the other ones had so many sprouts, and this one does not have as many. I mean, it's still sprouted, but so I'm grateful, and I'm going to see how they do. It's kind of be like a test at the end to see which sweet potatoes did the best. But that's from that one. And then the last one I have is this one. Ooh, this one's rotten on the inside, but it's gotten some sprouts. I've never grown this variety. I got this from someone else, and oops. I've never grown this variety before. It's actually, I feel like the leaves are really a beautiful purple. Like, I've never seen this before. The plant itself, the sweet potato itself was a very orangey color, and inside it was quite different than, this is what I've considered a normal, typical sweet potato that they sell at the grocery store. And this one, I feel like, is quite different. It was different in shape, it was long, and these tend to be more fatter, and it was a different color orange, and inside it's also a very bright orange. And it's actually easy to differentiate this one because it does have these dark purple leaves, which I think are beautiful. So a lot of times I can't tell them apart, but I didn't get too many of them, probably not many more than the one. This also came from the grocery store, so it's not, organic or anything, but I'm doing the same thing. I'm cutting off some of these sprouts, and I'm going to stick them in a jar by themselves. And these ones I'm pretty excited about because I've never grown these before. The other varieties I've grown in the past. This one is one that I was never able to get my hands on, but I got this year, and I'm quite excited to see. Maybe it will do something, maybe it won't. But anyway, these are all the sweet potatoes that I planted. So this is all the dirt that is left. I'm actually going to, it's got a ton of roots. It actually did quite well, as you can see. I'm actually going to put this just in my garden because I never throw away any soil. So I added about 1/3 or 1/4 of the way down with the bottle to fill it with water. I do not want to drown the sweet potato plants or slips. I just want them to sit in water and start rooting. Now, some of them already had roots from where they were touching the sweet potato, but they will form even bigger roots, and some of the ones that had no root will also start forming. So it usually takes about 3 to 5 days. It's really not a long process, and as soon as that is done, I will definitely put out a video of me putting these in the ground. As I mentioned, I'm putting them in grow bags, so hopefully in about another week or so I will let you know that they're in the ground, and then at some point, hopefully we'll be doing a video on harvesting the sweet potatoes, which I'm looking forward to because, as I mentioned, I am not putting them in the ground. I'm putting them in grow bags, so it should be a lot easier to find them. Hopefully there'll be a lot to find. But anyway, I just wanted to share with you what I'm doing today and how the sweet potatoes are progressing. I hope you enjoyed seeing where I am with the sweet potatoes as of right now, and I hope that you have started plants of your own or are able to get your hands on some slips. If you're not, this is certainly the cheapest way of doing it, is to get these slips made yourself. But if for some reason you're not, I know there are people selling them, and this is definitely the time to be putting them in the ground because it's already May, and that's starting the much warmer weather, and they do take quite a bit of time to grow, so you definitely want to get them in the ground as soon as possible. But I hope you enjoyed this video and just an update on my sweet potatoes. And I would ask that if you like this video that you please remember to press the thumbs up button. And I hope that you will subscribe to my channel, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you.